it's your girl Shayla Raye with In Style Atlanta, and we are here with the queen bee herself, Mariah Huq. Please welcome her. Yes, girl.
Yes. Well, most people don't realize I'm not just a trophy wife or not just a socialite. I'm also a philanthropist as well as an entrepreneur, and that's how Married to Medicine came, alive, because it came by way of Mariah Media Group. So of course I'm operating my media company where I'm producing other shows. I'm working on a Persian show as we speak, and I also have two businesses. I have Jewel and Gem, kids clothing and pajama line. My sister and I have, and we've had for almost a decade now, and we're actually at the last phase of launching into Macy's and Bloomingdale. So we're excited about that.
That's
huge
amazing.
Deal, multi-million-dollar line. So I'm excited about that. And my husband and I also launched Cinnamon Girl Diet this year, and it's a diet program for women of color, not just African Americans, but for Hispanic women, for Asian women, for Latino women. So it's for people like us who are predisposed to different disease states like metabolic disease and diabetes and obesity. So it's a program where you can lose up to 20 pounds in like 30 days. It's geared for women to help them kind of jumpstart and boost their weight loss regimen. So
well, please
we're
give
excited
us
about that.
Give us a little bit more information on that, because summertime's coming,
Yes.
and I know we're
Yes.
all interested in
But it really works.
keeping our curves, but being
being fit. It's
Right.
all about being healthy, and it's just really changing it and making it your lifestyle. So it's a whole line of products. We have a appetite suppressant that you take in the morning. We have one that you take in the PM. We have a line of protein bars and a nutritional high protein shake. So, and everything tastes delicious. The shakes are good, the bars are good, and it's not just about losing the weight, it's about feeling great. It's about looking good, feeling good, and doing good.
Healthy.
Yeah, and being healthy, and that's what it is. And it really works. I lost 14 pounds on it. My husband, lost 18 pounds on it. So it really, truly works.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
definitely look out for that.
CinnamonGirlDiet.com.
Amazing. I think it's a great point that you brought up about not being a trophy wife, but
Yeah.
we do know that you're married, and you guys just seem to have a wonderful relationship.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice out there for married couples?
I think you have to really marry your friend. I think you have to marry somebody who has the same morals and values, that you have. But I think it's really important to marry somebody you can communicate with. Like my husband really truly is my best friend. We can go hang out, have drinks, we can do everything together. So we have that type of chemistry. So I think it's important for you to, follow your heart. And when it's the right person, I really truly believe that your gut and your mind are all succinct. So I think my advice is to do you, be happy, and go with who makes you happy. Doesn't matter about color, or, we both have different, when we came into this, we came from different walks of life, different religions, and we made it work. So I think my advice would be to do you and go with what makes you happy.
Now we're going to move on to the show.
Previously on Married to Medicine.
Dr. Jackie just demolished that girl about being big, and I took that to my heart.
You can still be cute, not just healthy and bullshit. You say healthy?
I allowed Heavenly to take my power. Would you be willing to have the three of us together?
Is she gonna be on medication? Because if she's not gonna be on medication, I'm not gonna be there. No.
Well, I was gonna tell you to do the same thing.
I've been knowing Lisa Nicole for years. She has a name around the city, and I love it.
I'm gonna help Miss Quad have a financial plan for her business.
Oh, good.
Because, honey, I'm telling you, getting a clothing line off the ground, whether it's for a dog or a human, is expensive.
Party, 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 hello.
Quad and our relationship has totally taken a turn. We don't really talk anymore.
I think the people around her made her feel a certain way about me.
I think that a lot of the jokes, in terms of you being the puppet master, have some validity. Right now,
Distance is the answer.
You are actually the executive producer and the creator of the show?
Yes.
Wow. So
Co-executive producer and creator. Yeah.
now, I think I saw something on Instagram where you said you were just getting your credit
Yes.
for the first time. Why was that?
Well, I think it's all about contracts. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. And the first season, we had to make sure that the show was going to not only come into fruition, but be a success. So, most of my things were negotiated second season. and it takes a minute, like it's paperwork and stuff, you know. So mine's came after a few episodes this second season.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah,
a big,
you know
huge
what?
accomplishment.
Absolutely. It was really huge for me because I'd worked so hard on this. So many people had doubted me and thought I was making it up, that it was my project, or that I birthed this project. And I mean, I pitched it to everybody from Russell Simmons to Stan Lathan. I mean, Lauren Escalin at Bravo. I had worked so hard on this. So to sit on TV and not be given that credit, it was really tough. It was a very, very hard pill for me to swallow. And I think it was really big too, because not only did my husband and I invest time, I invested a lot of money into the project. And so for me, that was a portion of my return on my investment. And then the last thing was, I'm one of the very few, if not the only, African American woman on Bravo to receive that, concept buy credit. So that is like, it was making history. Even if I didn't get anything else beyond that, I feel like I've opened up the door, or at least cracked the door for somebody else.
Please walk us through the process of how you came up with this concept and how you actually birthed it, because a lot of people have ideas, and they have, a vision, but making it happen is something completely different. So,
well, at the time I was, I think my husband was in residency, and we lived, worked, and played with doctors, and I realized that it was just a totally different world, and I wanted to expose people to that world because I felt like it was so mysterious, and it was such a little, it was very cliquish, the medical arena. And so I was approached about doing Atlanta Housewives, and we just thought for us to bring our circle to TV would be a lot, would probably have more depth for us, because I love the Housewives. It's one of my favorite shows. But we felt like we needed to expose the world to physicians and the sacrifices that they make in the medical world, and that's kind of how I came up with it. I started journaling because there would be times where I was sick or my children were sick, but my husband had to go to work and take care of somebody else's kids or somebody else's wife. And and so I really wanted people to see a lot of the sacrifices that were made in the medical world. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten to see a lot of that because the drama outweighs some of the things of substance when you get on some of these major networks, and that's the disappointing part.
So the cast, did you end up picking the cast members?
You mean first season or this season?
Both.
First, I handpicked everybody first season.
Wow.
Yeah, I hand-delivered a cast to them.
This is who's going to be on the show.
No, this is Simone, she delivered Lauren. This is Quad, she's my best friend. This is Jackie, she's an associate and she's Simone's best friend. This is Carrie Wells, she's a friend of mine. This is Toya, our husbands work together. So it was everybody on the cast first season was connected to me.
So it was no casting?
No, we did cast. I mean, you do casting just, because truth be told, different networks are looking for different things. So where this was a real group of women and a real group of associates, it was a real life circle. So that's what made it so real, because yes, we do casting, but we didn't have to force people together because all of us were connected by some means.
And I think that's big.
It is, because it's natural chemistry. Natural chemistry. You don't have to force it. It happens on its own. And with that being said, the drama happens on its own too.
So this season you didn't have anything to do with.
It's the same. I mean, they recasted a couple people, but I casted Heavenly Times initially. She was on my pitch tape. She was actually on my sizzle reel, the first, which was Doctor's Wives Club was the name of it before. But she was on that, and they chose to she was working on some things, and the timing wasn't right, so she came back this season.
Now there was one cast member that didn't come back.
Carrie Wells.
Is there a specific reason for that?
No, I think just, as the seasons go by, people will change. I might not be on the season. I mean, it just really depends on what the audience responds to. Nobody's guaranteed in this business. That's not from the on-camera perspective. You have to go to what resonates with your audience.
Okay. Well, I think we have to talk about it. We have to talk about someone you said was your best friend, Quad. Now, we know you guys have had a little bit of a strain in your relationship.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of reality TV?
Oh, absolutely. I do. I think that people don't realize what this business comes with. Just, I think the entertainment business as a whole, it is, it can almost be like a drug. I hate to compare it to that or make that analogy, but it is. I mean, it can be addictive, and it does change. It changed the grain of people. It changes their morals, their values, their vision. And I feel as though it changed the dynamics of our relationship. I really, truly do. I think that other people played a role in it. And I think we have to accept some responsibility, Quad and I, for that as well, you know. So that's kind of how I feel. You know, it's disappointing, but it is what it is. Like, it's tough. It's really tough because I really wanted Quad to do this with me. I brought Quad on despite of what anybody thought, because she and I were friends and we had a lot of fun together, and I wanted this to be a fun experience.
So why can't you guys just get in a room and like
we tried that. We didn't film it. We tried that.
Was that at STK when you guys were trying to talk?
No. That was actually at Mulan's restaurant on Cascade. We was in a private room, sat there, talked, cried, hugged, kissed, whatever, for 6 hours. And the next thing I know, everything was unraveling on TV. So, it's a storyline for somebody. She says her life, but it seems more like a storyline. And I think it's been stretched out a bit. I mean, we was girlfriends, we had to fall out. Yes, we had to fall out of STK. But it really wasn't to this magnitude, to my knowledge.
Right.
I'm learning as...
are going to argue. They're going to
I'm learning as you guys are learning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about what happened at STK, because for me, it's kind of like this event happened at STK, but what happened prior to STK?
But that's the thing that I don't think people really realize, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't feel like it should have been in the show, because people didn't understand it. They didn't see it. I think what happened is Quad is saying that she had some issues with some things I said on camera last year, like, oh, what we gonna do with Miss Quad, or my husband and I referencing both me and Quad, saying, well, you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the, you take the girl out but you can't take the hood out the girl. Those are the two statements that I said, and she took offense to those. Never mind me bringing her in, saying she wasn't a pet project, making her own person, making the women accept her, forging her into this group. Never mind any of that. Always having her back, threatening to cancel the party that I had set up for my own husband if she wasn't invited. So I think, people seem to forget those things. So she claimed that made her feel a certain way, and she said, he said, she said, or something. I don't know. I personally feel like she's fishing. She's fishing for something or looking for a reason, or I don't know, maybe she was paid to do it. Who knows? It's TV, we got to keep it real.
Right. Now you mentioned something that she said really hurt her, which was you believe she's an opportunist. Do you still believe that? Or was you saying something out of anger?
No, it wasn't out of anger. And I wish it could be. I wish I could say, because I'm not angry about it. I'm not angry about it. I've moved on. I love her. I always have. I always will. And that's the thing I want people to know. I don't hate Quad because I know where she is. I've been there, done that. So I don't want to feel like she's an opportunist. What makes me feel that way is the way she's handling it now. She went to the blogs on the BravoTV.com blog. She talked about my mom, just things that as a friend, there's plenty of things I could say about her and her family. I would never do that because that's my character. That takes away from me then. And so for me, and it was too fast. It was too fast. We've only been in this one season. If someone turns that fast, either they never liked you or they always had a motive. I just, unless you cut their tires or run over the dog, I can't see best friends being where we are now.
Right. Now, how long were you friends before the show?
I don't know, years.
Wow.
Yeah, years.
So really best friends. Shell Brown from Straight from the A said that she was at STK and she wrote a blog about it.
She was.
Now, she mentioned in the blog that you were kind of
inebriated.
She didn't say, I don't know if she said inebriated, but she said you were more angry and kind of the one that was kind of starting the drama. So, is that true?
No, I don't think so. And I think, you know what? I'm not mad at Funky Dineva or Michelle because they're doing their job.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. But what I can tell you is that I went to that restaurant with the best intent, with an open mind, an open heart, sober. And to talk to Quad. I sat at her table. One of her friends said something inappropriate to me, cursed me. I said something back. Quad came over to the table, and she talked to me. I mean, she talked bad to me. You know, she said I was just jealous of her. She had more fans. She was more famous than me, or just something. And what I said was, you know, that's crazy. I'm the one that made you famous. I'm the one that gave you the platform to be famous. And it kind of escalated from there. I got upset and I was not kicked out the restaurant. I was never kicked out the restaurant.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I left the restaurant, and when Quad threw my purse, I tried to go back in. They wouldn't let me back in because she threw my purse when I got to the door. Yeah, she threw so it was really me and Quad's friend into it, and Quad came over and blamed me for it. So it did escalate, but it wasn't like there was never any leaks. I was shocked when I saw Michelle said I was hitting her, or I didn't put my hands on Quad. I mean, I would never. She's always been like a little sister to me. I would never fight that girl. Like what happened to me last year with Toya was an isolated incident, and it was about my child. And I'm not making excuses for it, but it had never happened before that, and it will never happen after that. So bloggers will blog. What can I say? And I like Michelle. She wasn't over there when this stuff happened, and that's the thing people are not saying. They're taking, you know, and everybody feels sorry for Quad. I mean, feel sorry for the underdog.
Now, how is it for you to watch like the show when you see scenes that she's talking about you, or when you watch What's Happening?
Watch What Happens Live.
Watch What Happens Live. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
And what was your thoughts on that?
I was flabbergasted. Actually, probably more so by Phaedra calling me a slut. I thought that was absurd because I've met Phaedra twice. And one of the times was because my company, Jewel and Jim, and my sister, we sponsored her baby Aiden's room. So the beautiful Prince Aiden, we done that. So I was shocked because I can't see myself talking to one of my sponsors or someone that had sponsored 10,000 plus products, you know. I couldn't see. So I was more blown away by that, honestly, because I had never met her. I've never had I'm outside of twice. Never really had an in-depth conversation with her for her to call me anything. And everybody knows me to know that couldn't be further from my character. And I guess with Quad, I just felt like it's too much about me. I think that she should put that same amount of energy into her husband and them growing their future, or her little dogs that's peeing on the table or on the floor, you know, getting slammed in the door. Like, she needs to focus on, and I feel like if the women or the people around her really loved her, they would tell her that. You can't give anybody that type of energy in your life. I mean, outside of God. Like, it's too much. To me, it's time to draw the line.
Right. I was wondering, because I did see some tweets that you said about Phaedra, so now it's all making sense that she called you a slut, but yet she doesn't know you.
Right.
And
I think, honestly, that's probably a lot of what she's going through in her life with her husband and her legal issues. So I try not to take offense to it because that's who she is. I mean, that's not my life, never have been, never will be. She was known as the head doctor, not me. So I just think that's kind of her life. And sometimes people project.
Right. Absolutely. Now, do you know any of the other housewives, or?
Yeah, I know.
On the show?
You mean of Atlanta or
Atlanta?
Yeah, I know Nene, and I've met Cynthia a couple of times, and I met Portia before, and you know, so and Candy actually introduced me to Phaedra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think I kind of know most of them, and not know them, but I'm acquainted, you know, to most of them.
Now, when you watch their season and you see kind of like what's going on with Cynthia and Nene and their friendship, I mean, did it resonate with you and your friendship, or do you just think it's the beast of reality TV?
You know what? It resonated, and I had a conversation with Nene, you know, about just the whole reality world, and I also had one with what's her name from Beverly Hills? Lisa Vanderpump. I talked to both of them when I visited LA recently, and it's the nature of the beast from what I'm learning. You know, I took it personal initially, but I'm learning that, you know, it is what it is. And I think with Cynthia and Nene, I think they probably had a real friendship, but I think the cameras can ruin that, you know, so.
Do you regret doing, like being maybe in the forefront on camera with the reality TV?
I have no regrets, but a part of me feel as though I would have warranted more respect had I not been in front of the camera. You know, you think about the sacrifices that you made, and I've sacrificed a lot. You know, so, you know, part of me feels like maybe I could have done something differently, but I have no regrets. I think the show's been a success, and that's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are so excited for you.
Thank you so much.
Please just take a moment to give them all of your information so that they can find you, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay.
Because we want our viewers to definitely make sure they're following you.
Okay. Well, you can find me on I Love Mariah, and that's ILUV Mariah, and that is on Instagram. That's on Twitter. I'm Mariah Huq, HUQ, on Facebook, and you can also check out my websites, and that's cinnamongirldiet.com or jewelandgem.com, and that's Jewel with the J and Gem with the J. So ILUV Mariah.
Well,
follow me.
Yes, make sure you follow her, the Queen Bee herself. Thank you so much, Mariah. We really appreciate it. It's In Style Atlanta. I'm Shayla Raye. Make sure you stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem.